What's up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat, and welcome to this week's episode of Weekly Indie Newcomer. This week on Weekly Indie Newcomer, we're going to be playing Happa Games' Ascendant, which they sent to me through my email, which was very, very cool of them. What is Ascendant? Ascendant is a platformer Metroidvania roguelike. The best way that I would describe it is if you really, really liked Rogue Legacy, but you wished that the setting was a little bit different, this would probably be a game that you want to keep an eye on in the future. The game is in early access right now. It is nowhere near completed, but what they have at the moment is a pretty solid foundation, and so without further ado, let's go ahead and start the game. Upon starting a new game, you're going to have a couple options in front of you. The first thing you'll notice is the stark, solid color graphical style that the game has decided to use, or the developers have decided to put into the game. Very, very cool, and the game fashions itself over Greek mythology, or something around that time maybe, and you get to pick from 4 characters right now. I have a lot of characters that are locked. I haven't unlocked them yet. Each of these characters has different benefits and downfalls. You've got Memnon, who's healthy. Means he has lots and lots of HP, but has no disadvantages. We have Theseus. He heals after slaying bosses, but gets knocked back really, really far when he gets hit. We also have Gilgamesh. He has increased melee damage, and he's very healthy, but he has the possibility of that whenever hearts fall down, your health is done in a Zelda fashion. When hearts fall over, they have the propensity to just kind of spontaneously combust, just and they disappear. And so sometimes you will lose health pickups to the nature of the fact that he disintegrates hearts around him. Kind of a, he's got like a weird like One Direction thing going on, I guess. He melts the ladies' hearts all around him. But anyways, we've also got Gat, who has increased spell damage, slow fall while casting, and he may take double damage sometimes, which means I'm probably never going to play that character because I get hit a lot. For the purposes of this playthrough, we are going to play Theseus. And so we'll go ahead and select him. I also like Theseus the best because he's got kind of this Misfits color scheme that I really like, the purple and green. Oh, and I've got a cursor left in the middle of the screen. Let's move that. I am playing with an Xbox controller because platformers are very, very difficult to play with a mouse. So how does the game play? Well, this is how the game looks for the remainder of our playtime. Left and right obviously make you move left and right. The A button for me is causing me to jump. The mouse controls I didn't really enjoy that much, so if you are going to play this game, I really do suggest that you play it with a controller. I think the developers recommend that as well. This is a game that 100% you will just play better with a controller. I've never seen a person with a keyboard and mouse who plays Rogue Legacy or any sort of Metroidvania game as well as somebody with a controller on the PC. It's one of those things that console games still just do better, just based on the nature of the controls. Now then, the left stick is going to allow us to move. The right stick doesn't do anything right now. The right trigger is going to allow us to do, I think, a spell once we have some. If you look at the top center of the screen, there's a jar. We can capture wind and fire and things like that in a jar, and I think the right trigger unleashes it. The left trigger puts us into spell casting mode where we can fire spells like so. If you look at the top left corner, you'll see a mana bar that's going up and down as I cast. There it is right there. And right above that, you will see our health. We have 3 hearts. When you get hit, you don't lose a full heart. You may lose a partial heart, so don't worry about having a low health pool. You can increase it later through finding randomized pickups. The full game is chaotically and generally randomly done. You will find some things that are the same as what you would find elsewhere. And this is how the combat functions. The X button is going to allow you to do your normal melee combo. You will hit enemies and until they turn yellow. Once they turn yellow, you press the Y button for a... Oh, I got hit nice and early like a dunce. That was no good. I wasn't paying attention. I was talking about the game. When you hit an enemy enough, they will turn yellow, and once you hit them enough, you hit the strong attack on your Y, and that does a knockback. Now, the direction you're facing, your left stick is going to determine the trajectory of the enemy, so let's find somebody to hit here. Oh, and I killed him on accident. From that chest, we got plus 5% to our melee damage. After you clear each zone, you'll get a chest that increases either your statistics, it gives you currency, you'll get a key, maybe you'll get health, it sort of depends. Once an enemy turns yellow, you hit them with the Y button, and with the direction you're facing on your left stick, it will knock them in that direction. And so you can definitely, that's the gimmick that this game has going, is as you damage stuff, you can knock them back in a direction that you desire, like straight up in the air, like so. And you can see that he flew quite high up in the air, and any enemy, if I can say the tongue twister there, any enemy that he collides with takes a ton of damage, and so knocking people around is probably something you should learn to do before you get very far into the game. In fact, the majority of the bosses revolve around this mechanic, being able to knock enemies around proficiently. The other thing that you want to know is that you can teleport or dash to enemies. So let's say that I'm standing right here. Let me use the cursor here for a second. There was an enemy right here. If I was to face the stick in that direction and press attack, I teleport straight to him. And that really is going to help you evading the enemy. And so that's another mechanic that really kind of makes up a linchpin of how the game is designed. You need to know how to teleport, you need to know how to knock people around, and until you master those, the game is going to be very difficult. In this chest, we found ourselves a new sword by pressing the X button. We can go with Theseus' Notch Sword, which is what we have right now, 55 attack, 25, it looks like 25... I don't know what, they don't explain very well what all the stats do. You can't really like mouse over them or anything to find out, so it's all kind of left to chance. My assumption is that it increases your magic damage. So this one's going to give us more melee damage, more magic damage, and it's going to be a little bit slower. But other than that, it's pretty much going to do the same thing as everything else we have. So let's equip that, and as you can see, I've picked it up and I've dropped my old sword. That's going to be really, really useful to us because we want to be able to lay down as much damage as possible with some of the later enemies. Some of the later enemies have kind of this syncopation or maybe like a rhythm to their attacks that's very hard to get inside of. And getting inside of, I feel like I jump higher now. Maybe the sword made me jump higher. We can look at our inventory, although it's somewhat limited. And it doesn't share symbols in between menus, so it can get a little bit confusing. I'm hoping the UI gets a little bit of an overwork in the future. So as you can see, let's knock them back, and then I'm gonna knock him up in the air because it entertains me. And let me teleport to this guy. There it is right there. You saw that? I teleported to him. Now he did hit me in the process. We got ourselves a max health up, which is really, really good because that's one of our big weaknesses with this character is that he doesn't have much health. A really, really good chest loot right there. This right here is a store, and I do feel, yeah, they've made us jump higher. I'm definitely 100% jumping higher than I was before with this sword. I've gotten a health pickup. Let's check out the store so you guys can see what it looks like. We don't have any currency right now. The left hand of the screen, there's a symbol of a key and a symbol of like a fiery crown. The fiery crown is called influence, and it's the game's currency. We don't have any, but this kind of floaty guy, I call him Silent But Deadly, SBD for short. He doesn't talk much, but he does give you some pretty deadly items, hence the name SBD. We can buy a bunch of stuff right here. I don't know what most of it does because the game doesn't tell you when you buy it. I know what this does right here. This is an armor/weapon allocate. Oh, never mind. That's the breath of Eatsley. That's not the sigil of Eatsley. Well, let's be on our way then. Let's get on out of here. But in any case, as I say it, that is the store, and that's what you want to watch out for if you've got a lot of coin burning a hole in your already sort of solid-looking pocket. I mean, his pants, if you look closely, they look like they're made out of green flame already, so I guess fire may not affect them very much. But in the interest of being interesting, oh yeah, we can dash too. I forgot to mention that. With the shoulder buttons, we can dash back and forth. And you can pretty much play the whole game while dashing. You can get items that allow you to double dash in midair, do some kind of cool stuff. The game plays very, very differently each time you play it. And I want him the hell away from me because he's got an explodey barrel. Oh, and I just got attacked with a ranged attack and I stood there and I took it. We're going to teleport to him. And while that guy's... Ooh, there's spikes on the ceiling too. I didn't see those either. All the colors have the tendency to run together for me. Things aren't very prominent in this game. And we got plus 5% buff to our melee damage. Now, why did I pick this character? The benefit is that I get hit a lot, and the bosses tend to not be that difficult. So when you beat a boss, you get full health, and that seems to be a really, really efficient way of healing yourself. Now, for this boss fight, there is a mechanic in place that we want to be aware of. You want to launch characters up into the air to knock his tower over. He's stealing my dance moves, and I'm just not okay with that. His dance moves, they're pretty badass, but I think I can do better. So let's knock him down from his high throne. We missed with that one. We gotta get a little bit closer, I think. So let's go right there. There we are. So we've knocked down his tower. And now what we want to do is we want to prime up as many guys as we can to fight with this guy. We can also knock him back. His health bar is going to be at the bottom center of the screen. He's easy mode. This guy has nothing to concern yourself with. And now we get super uber loot, which is the Blessing of Agony. And so we can either apply it to our weapon, we can apply it to our armor, or we can apply it to our magic. If we apply it to our weapon, it sets foes ablaze. If we apply it to our armor, we cause explosions when we get hit. And if we set it to our magical spells, they explode on impact. I think I'm gonna build myself to be... Let's go with the attack setting enemies on fire because that sounds badass. Our character has horns, he's looking kind of demonic, and I think that really kind of fits along with the premise of the gameplay. We are now in the second world. It looks the same as the first, but as you go through the worlds and you get to kind of the more serious mode worlds, the worlds that definitely want to kill you, they will start to look a little bit different. They change their motif. We teleported over right there and knocked him back. You can knock back the guys slightly if you haven't turned them yellow yet, but really you want to kind of inflict him with the symptom of yellow before you smack them with your sword with the ultimate hit. Oh, I was trying to do a teleport right there. There we go. Let's get our chest. And we got health pickup, which is disappointing considering we just got full health from the boss. Disappointing. There's a big spike wall here that we want to make use of. All of your enemies can be inflicted by environmental hazards. We set one on fire right there. And unfortunately, I couldn't get the proper directionality on our attack vector, but we did the best that we could. He's going to fire at us. I'm going to try and kill him. These are the guys that I'm talking about. Sometimes it's difficult to get in between their shots if there's a bunch of them. Those little wormy guys, they sit around and they just kind of waggle around and taunt you. But for the most part, they shoot their green goo at you. I don't know what the green goo is from or for, but it really, really hurts, and so I'm just not going to think about it biologically too much. Let's break open some pot so that it'll make our journey a bit more jovial. Another store right here, but oh, I didn't want to go there. No, I was trying to break the pot. We don't have a lot of cash right now, so it's not going to help us. Let's be on our way. I think down and to the left, we'll break a pot right there. We can knock those pots at enemies for damage. Oh, they almost got me right there. That was a close one. I think what I would prefer to do here is maybe teleport to him and then teleport back because they're... Oh, he's got a shield. Damn. I'm gonna let him fire one more time. And unfortunately, his shield stuns us every time we hit it. And so the fact that he's in the middle of every melee that we're trying to get involved with is a problem. It's very, very problematic. Oh, and he died from the fall. Good enough for me. I'll take it. Got the health back that we lost, so nothing lost, nothing gained. This gent over here is not aware of us yet. The enemies do have like a rudimentary awareness, leading me to believe at some point there may be some kind of sneak mechanic. On certain maps, the enemies just don't seem to notice you if they're facing the opposite direction. Who even knows? The game is so early in alpha that really anything could happen. If I get hit by my own pot, does that hurt me? I guess not. This is a really, really bad map. All we've gotten is hearts. And I'd want to stress that hearts are really, really rare. You don't tend to find them very often. Let's have a look at our map here. You can see it on the left side. This looks like it's going to the boss, so let's go check the other location. Since we're having a bad run, we really want to make sure that we hit every single location to get all the loot that we can before we vamonos onto the future. I think our next... Yeah, there it is right there. I'm just going to try and get the hell away from him because... Oh, I stepped on spikes without thinking about it. And then we also got poked by a little mosquito thing. A mosquito. And so I'm going to take my rage out on that mosquito. And we've got another armored heart. So what an armored heart does is the same thing as in Binding of Isaac, where it just makes it so that you have a temporary heart that doesn't get refilled when you fill up health. So think the armored hearts or the ghost hearts from Binding of Isaac, and you've got the idea. Locked down Pat. I don't know if there was a guy, Pat, at one point who really knew what he was talking about, but I guess that's where the saying must have come from. At some point, there must have been a well-informed guy named Pat who had things down, and pretty soon... Oh, that's a... Never mind, we don't want to go there. We want to go left, or I'm sorry, right. I know my directions. I graduated from kindergartens, kind of. We'll pick up that last heart. I wasn't aware that your health pickup stayed in the same location, so at least that works out for us. And we'll check out this map first. I don't want to teleport to him because it'll put us over the spikes. I don't know what's happened here at all. I think I can see something that I can land on right there. Yep, we made it. Knock him off. And we'll take our freebie treasure chest, which gave us worthless loot. Amazing! I'm so happy about this. Did it spawn our chest down here? Because I feel like we probably should have gotten another chest for the two guys that we killed. Ah, well. It's the video game world, where you're rewarded for murdering things and annihilating them without due cause. I have no idea why we're on this quest, by the way. I mean, we could just really be kind of in a methed out rage at the moment, and that could be the basic premise for the game. I didn't really read the prologue, so... Another sword here. And it's the Razor of the Swift, which is better in all respects. A simple blade can do wonders in talented hands. Let's take it. It's also got like a glowy thing, yeah, so we now no longer jump as high as we did before. So why has our jump been nerfed even though things went up? Interesting. All of the stats on this appear to be listed in green. Which leads me to believe we probably shouldn't lose anything, but alright, we're back to default jump. I'm not going to ponder it for too long. Let's be on our way. And we want to make it back to the boss without stepping on any spikes or cracks or anything that might break our mother's back. Unless you don't like your mom, and then I guess go ahead and break her back. I mean, you should probably be nicer to your mom than that. She did carry you around for 9 months, but maybe your mom's a serial killer or something, and you just have to end her reign of terror. In that case, jump on those cracks, my friend. Jump on them. We are now at the second boss, the Burrower, which, as you guessed it, our job is to knock these little guys at him. Oh, and I missed. I thought he was going to go across. Oh, God. Well, I'll get him right there then. And so he should drop off some more minions now that I've squandered the remainders. We have to do a dash jump to get over that right there. And we're not on the right side of him. Oh, we barely got... Oh, almost got him there, too. Damn. So we want to get everybody flagged as yellow. There's the one we wanted. We wanted to get him... So basically, to beat that boss in one hit, you want him to come out of this wall or this wall, going in the approximate... I guess he's just crossing, like so. And then you want to hit him in the opposite direction with one of these little guys, and it'll go through his entire body and one-shot him. That's what we were going for. The Blessing of Shiva bestows a destructive aura around the player if it goes on our body. If it goes on our weapon, attacks deal double damage. Maybe. I said double damage. That's where you actually lower the intellectual acuity of your enemy. It's double damage. But anyways, double damage is different. You might deal double damage if you put that there. And if we do our spells, they may do massive damage. I think I'm going to go with the destructive aura. That sounds pretty badass. I like glowing. If there's one thing video games have taught me, it's that if I glow, it's probably a good thing. I know at this point somebody will come across with a video game where when you glow you're like irradiated or your life is just absolutely terrible. But until it happens, I shall maintain my position, dear sir. We managed to get all of our health back. We now have these little spitters. Ooh. Oh, we ate one right there. Luckily we have an armored heart, so who even cares? That heart is going to remain there, so we'll want to remember that there's a heart in this central T location. 2 hearts, in fact. We'll come back for those if we need them. The boss of this area is a little bit more difficult. I'm just going to get rid of that shield. I'm probably supposed to do it with a magic attack, but whatever. Another heart there. This run has more heart than any run that I've ever been to. We got 8 influence from one of the pots right there, and it's also been... God, we have so many hearts to mess around with right now. We are like the Dawn 1 of this game. Just finding hearts everywhere and making use of them. I haven't even seen that movie, so I don't even know what I'm talking about. It could be... I think we killed that already. It's still glowing yellow. Typically things lose their golden glory once you kill them, but that one appears to be stuck with it. What is this? Oh, we can knock it around. Oh, it's an explosive barrel. A really, really big explosive barrel. Alright. Looks like there's a chest over there for us to claim, so let's go ahead and platform our hearts out. Especially if this chest has a heart in it. Nope, it's got a key. We platformed our way to the key. And we do want to watch out for... Let's see here. Oh, we're in the bottom corner. Okay, so I'll take that. It's a little scary to drop off blind in this game. You never know where it's going to put you. Got a spitter up there. Ah, I missed. I tried to knock that guy into him, but my skills are lacking. I'm just not that strong. I am not prepared, as Illidan is known to say. Where did that put our chest? There it is. Got ourselves 10 influence, which is finally something that we could be making use of. Not gonna be any boss if I go this way, right? Ooh, I got him, kind of. He's got the aura that you want to watch out for. And so what we want to do is shoot him with magic. So there's a little bit of metagame knowledge that goes into this game. You will learn slowly what some of the enemies do, and you will hope to get better at fighting them. I mean, I don't really seem to, but I try. I do my bestest. Das Beste. As, what's his name is known to say. I don't even... Michael Fassbender, there we go. When he's Magneto and he's in that bar in Chile or wherever the hell he is, and he's like, Das Beste! And then he does that awesome knife move with his magnetism where it's like, shink, 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 and just wipes out a bunch of dudes. Super, super awesome, guys. If I could throw knives around with my magnetic powers or with my mind, I will take either or. I think I'd be a happier, more positive person. I mean, I would be a negative influence in the world, but I would be more positive as a net whole, because I would feel much more protected. We got a max health up. Yet again, one of those magnanimous, amazing, wonderful things that you want to pick up along the course of the game. If you can get yourselves a lot of health, it gives you the perfect storm of chances for completing the game. Oh god, there are a lot of these little dudes down here. And they're all firing. I'm going to try and kill them with ranged attacks. Ooh, and it looks like we got him. Cool. I'm surprised that I made it out of that without getting hit. We've got another max health up. This is a really amazing run. This is kind of that run in like The Binding of Isaac where you get technology and everything else that you want. The game doesn't deny you, basically. It doesn't leave you wanting. It doesn't leave you just moist and desiring, tumescent with anticipation. It gives you all the things you want. Wipe the enemy out there. We'll break this pot because it might have treasure in it. Turn on our car alarm. If you guys heard that, I don't know. The guy in the parking lot's like, Meh, like turning on his parking. He's turning on his car alarm over and over again. So we are headed to the boss there. It looks like this is a treasure stage, so let's go to the treasure stage first. Because I love treasure and we have a bunch of keys. It's not even locked, so that doesn't matter. And it's a Breath of Eatsley. So if we use the right trigger, we can drop that. I don't know what it does. Eatsley protects you from thorns, so my guess is it probably does some damage or something. Oh, this boss is easy. Never mind. The next boss is the difficult one. The sisters are super simple. We want to just get all up in that biznass with the sisters and just wipe them out. We also don't want to step in any of their little gooey things that they put on the ground. And so you do have kind of a time limit here for wiping out the sisters, so think about that as you're playing. And, oh yeah, I forgot you can parry with the B button, but I don't use it, so parrying. Parrying in a Metroidvania game, who would have ever thought? If you press the B button, they do that little parry thing. And we got the Blessing of Eatsley now. And so you can be invulnerable to spikes, which is really, really good. You can have your spells go through enemies, or you can make attacks that petrify your enemies. I'm going to go with the immunity to spikes, because I always seem to get myself into trouble with spikes. And we shall be on our merry way to realm number 4. Or 3? No, 4. Definitely 4, if I can remain able to count in a in a vertically inclined direction. If I can count upwards, I think we will be much less confused. He just tried to shotgun me, and that little guy over there just tried to claw me in the backside, and my backside shall remain unclawed, madam. I assume you're a madam. I mean, you're covered in pink swooshy things. Pink swooshy things tend to denote, like, a madam in video games. It could be a sir, though. Maybe he just likes the color pink. I don't blame him. Pink can be pretty badass if you put it with the right other colors. Another key, and nothing with which to unlock them. Or I guess a key and nothing to unlock them. Or nothing to unlock. There we go. I can get that, and I got hit because I got so confused. Well, that didn't work either. Well then, we'll just try that, and that'll work out. That chest is going to give us yet another key. If you were on my keyring right now, you were definitely among friends. I'll leave that there. This little guy's going to create problems for us, and that one's going to stun us and hit us in the face, which I do not approve of. But we got another max health up, so whatever. I'm going to go up on this one. I'm going to try and be positive. And let's go upwards on the map. And we got stunned. God. I recognize this as the last place that I want to be. There it is. So the enemies do get a little bit more vicious, they get a bit more violent, they start to time their attacks a little bit better, and it's subtle. You may not notice it as you go through. Yeah, unfortunately my magic attacks don't seem to be getting the job done. And I was going to eat a hit there no matter what I did. I was hungry and they were going to feed me. Got the same map twice, strangely enough. Chest with a heart maybe? All those hearts that we got in the previous episodes don't appear to be appearing. Or I guess I could have just said they don't appear. It just left the sentence there. It didn't even need to be completed. It already made itself apparent. And a 6th key. Alright, so that's a bit troublesome. I'm probably going to take damage there just because I don't see a way that it's not going to happen, but we got the health back in the first place, so I'll live with it. We have a store over here, and given that we have 70 influence, let's check out the store. A very, very good plan to keep yourself stocked up on lovely items. We can get a full heart, we can get an armored heart, we can get the Spirit of the Unwavering, or we can get a spell, Burst 2. What does that cost me? 60? Let's go Burst 2. I've never gotten this. So we have shards. Let's do Burst 2. It does less damage, but maybe it fires faster or something? Hell yeah! Oh, that's my stuff right there. I'll take it. Let's look at the last couple recesses of this area, and it looks like we actually went the complete and total wrong way, so we're gonna have to do that no matter what we do. We're gonna have to go back down to the south. No, I don't want to be bounced around on a cloud. This is not a Disney movie. This is not Dragon Ball Z either, or any of the other places that clouds are used as transportational devices. Clouds shall remain fixated where they are, by order of the Splattercat. Ooh, we got an extra heart. Yay! I forgot that that was there. Oh, and I was trying to use him as ammo to wipe out the other mobs, but I failed. I failed. That little guy's going off over there, and then we get a chest with another key. I am noticing a disturbing lack of things to be unlocked here. We have a lot of keys. We have keys like a janitor at the moment. And unfortunately, nothing upon which to use them. So between our aura and the way everything else is going, I feel as though we've probably got a pretty positive result going for this game. We may win, which in any roguelike is something to be considered. God. That is a spell right there. Unfortunately, because of his aura, we are definitely... I didn't even do that. I was trying to knock that guy back up like so. And unfortunately, he decided to teleport and do a strong attack up to the top of the screen. Little bit of health back. The boss of this area is really, really difficult, so unfortunately... Oh, there it is right there. So that might help us out a tad. Get rid of him. That didn't work. Another heart, exactly what I wanted. So when I want hearts, I sometimes get them, I guess. We've got another chest up here, so let's loot this and see what magical thing is available for our perusal. Just 50 influence, which isn't bad. 50 influence is a lot. In fact, it might also be worthwhile. It's too far. We're getting close to the end of the episode anyways. I was gonna run back and get the armored heart, but let's just fight this boss and see if I can beat him for once. The turret! This boss is very, very difficult, and I've been having a lot of trouble with him. So the turret has a couple different things that he does. He has like a death laser that you have to be aware of. Like that right there that I just got hit by because I'm an idiot. And so now he's got a shield. He's gonna put these bouncy balls all over the place. He's also gonna fire kegs around that explode. And so as you can see, there's kind of an exponential increase in the difficulty of the bosses. And now that he's firing that stuff around, I'm gonna get up in here and see if I can't set him on fire and hurt him a little bit. He's gonna go laser mode, so we wanna hide. He's gonna go reverse laser mode now. And once that shield comes down, I wanna get back up in his grill. Treat him like a foreman grill and just get him. Oh god! I can't break that shield, so we're gonna hang out down here trying to bounce. He's trying to bounce his balls off of us, but we're really trying to avoid it. The collision seems a little bit weird with the way some of this works. The fire definitely seems to like jump around on you. So his shield is back up. I don't know what that did for me. It probably gave me thorns or something. Can I kill him? Oh, we did it! We did it! I've never killed that boss before. I feel happy with myself right now. It may just be a matter of getting the proper drops and really just being prepared for that point in the fight. And what is this? The Blessing of Scotty, which greatly slows air descent while casting spells. Okay, whatever. Chills and slow your foes, or launch foes deal extra damage to foes they strike. Since we're built around melee already, I'll probably do that. And then I think it's time for us to do pros und cons. Pros of this game is that it's infinitely variable. Playing this game over and over again is really fresh and it doesn't feel tired. I mean, I've played the game a lot at this point, and I've never beaten that boss, so this is all new to me, but what I will tell you is that each playthrough, while you will see the same map tiles every now and again, that's a function of the game not being fully developed at the moment. And there's a lot of stuff still to be implemented in this game right now. On the con side, I think I would say that sometimes the hitboxes are a little bit weird, so I would tighten those up slightly if I was the developer. Sometimes, and also it's difficult to tell if the hits are being registered, and so I would add some kind of concrete animation to let me know that I'm being hit by attacks. The game does have a lot of itemization so far, so that's definitely a pro. There's a lot of things that the game has going for it with regards to treasure to be looted. And everything feels very tight with their controls, which for any Metroidvania is incredibly important. So mechanically, I'd say that the game is very much in a spot where it needs to be right now, aside from the fact that hitboxes can be a little bit strange, and it's difficult to tell when you've been hit. Treasure is obviously going to be expanded a little bit further, but is already very, very numerous. There's a lot of stuff. I'm still seeing new things drop, even though the game is in alpha, so I'm already seeing new things drop all the time. You can get the game... Actually, I don't know the pricing right now, so I'm coming into this a little bit unprepared. I got it for free, and this was a random game that I got a few days ago that I wasn't planning on covering, but it was so good that I felt the need to really kind of give the developer a shout out and show that, you know what, if you make a good game, you are going to get shown off on the Nerd Castle. So yeah, the only things that I would say are for cons is that sometimes the hitboxes are weird and you can't figure out exactly why you're being hit. mostly with AoEs and things of that nature, so just tighten that up. Make sure that I know when I'm getting hit and what I'm being hit by, and I think this game will definitely have all of its mechanical basics down, and beyond that, it's just adding more enemies, adding more bosses, adding more stages, and adding more loot, because the game already has everything in place right now that it needs to be a successful Metroidvania title. My name is Splattercat, thank you for joining me here in Weekly Indie Newcomer. The game that we were looking at is Ascendant by Hoppa Studios. Definitely look down in the information below to get your hands on the game if you're interested in playing it in its pre-alpha functionality. I will see you guys in the next week's episode. Take care out there, everybody, and farewell, sirs.